Okay. What's Diane saying there? Oh, passcode. I wrote it there. Diane, the passcode, I put it in the top there in the chat, 96383210365. Okay, I got to get I don't even have my stuff on my table yet. One sec. Beep, beep, Dexter. Look out, Dexter. He's an accident waiting to happen, that dog.
Oh.
Okay. I've been making deuce coops all day, getting ready for craft fair season.
Yeah, I imagine.
Yeah. Well, I started 2. So I have, because I had all of that vinyl that I got in those sheets. Remember when we bought right into buying all that back then?
Yeah.
We're just waiting. We are live. We're just waiting for everybody to join. So I started a supernatural one and and a Harry Potter one so far. So we'll see. I think I can sell those for like $45 a piece. These sheets were really cheap, so it takes the cost of it down really good. So we'll see. Yeah.
I'm going to go into my office and try the laptop because this is going to give me a headache if I have to keep watching the camera go.
Sounds good.
Loopy.
Sounds good. We'll just wait for Diane to get in there too. How is everybody? Anybody that's joining this after the fact, make sure you put down in the comments that you were here. Today's the last Tuesday class. Yay. We're switching to Wednesdays as of next week. Let me see. So we have Diane and Dawn.
Okay.
There you are. She needs the passcode. Okay, Diane, let me copy. It's up above, but I will put it in here again. Here we go. If I go here, you can see it at the top. Oh, you know what? I didn't write the right passcode. My bad. Sorry. I wrote the meeting number, 794703. Time to wake up, Brandy. There you go. 794703. Dawn's trying to figure out why her iPad is being a weirdo today.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to put my participants up here. All righty. It's going to be a small group. I've had messages from people saying that they're going to do it after the fact because they couldn't make it today again, which is okay. As a bag girl, and I didn't do my crossbody strap. That's the only thing I didn't do. But that's all right. All right, I'll just wait for Diane and Dawn to come back, and then we will get started. Got to put it together and do the binding today. So I'll be working on both machines. I will be doing the main construction of the bag on my flatbed, and then I'm going to do the binding on my cylinder arm because I'm doing bias tape binding. It's easier. Hello, Diane. How are you?
Oh, good, you?
Good. How are you feeling?
All right.
Yeah, your legs are all feeling better?
Oh, just one leg.
Just one leg?
Yeah, and then my face is kind of...
Oh, dear.
I had biopsies done there, too, so...
Wonderful. Well, at least they're catching it all. Yeah. We're just waiting to see who else joins. Dawn is going to come back. We are live. I just got a call like just before this, why I was running a little late, because I had that MRI on Friday for my ears. And they told me if I heard nothing, all was clear and not to worry about anything. But they phoned me today and set up a follow-up appointment. So I'm pretty sure, I have a feeling they're going to come back and say that I have the condition that my grandmother had, which means I will get surgery done. I'll have a choice between surgery done to remove the small tumors in my ear, if that's what it is. I'm just kind of guessing. Or I can undergo some sort of radiation, but I don't want to do that. So it's not cancer or anything. They're just tumors that grow. That's my grandma had it. She never had anything done. She just ended up losing her mobility because she couldn't keep her balance. So I like being able to walk. She got diagnosed with it at the same age as, well, she was 50 and I'm 49. So, and she was wheelchair bound at 87. So she went quite a long time before the dizziness took hold of her. But I don't want, I'll just get the surgery done if that's what it is. Or maybe it's something else. I don't know.
Maybe.
We will see. There's Dawn. I don't know if you heard that, Dawn. I was just giving an update that I have a follow-up with my ear, nose, and throat doctor about my MRI.
How long do you have to wait for an appointment?
September 9th at noon.
Oh, that's not too bad.
No. So I'm pretty sure I know what he's going to say. Maybe he won't. Maybe it'll be something different, but I'm pretty sure. Right. It's a genetic thing, and Grandma had it, and I'm my grandma's girl, so it wouldn't surprise me.
Grandma gave it to you.
Yeah. I got the diabetes from my other grandma, and this grandma, she gives me ear tumors.
Maybe it's a girl thing, though.
I don't know. I have another cousin on that side of the family that's undergoing the same symptoms, and she is the same age as me. We were born the same year, so
I said maybe it's a female thing.
Maybe. I don't know of anybody else having had it but Grandma, but I mean, Grandma was 98 years old. Who knows? Back in the day, her parents died young, so you wouldn't know. Yeah. But it's all good. Could be worse. So we will see. Right. Okay. Did you finish yours, Diane? Yeah.
Oh, which one?
Your Susu.
Which one?
Oh, did you start another one? Did you start another?
No.
Oh.
I'm doing the surprise one.
Oh, that surprise one. Yes. Okay. So I think it's just the three of us. We do have who else was doing this with us? Rhonda was doing it. Frankie was doing it. And I think that was it. This is a small class.
The only thing I don't like about what I did, I don't know if I should have sewed up a little farther, because I might just put a rivet in there.
Oh, mine sits out like that too.
Even right with the stitching though too?
Yeah, the stitching goes right to here.
Oh yeah? Okay.
Yeah, right to there. And it's up.
Okay.
Yep.
I just thought it kind of looked
I mean, you could if you wanted to, but I don't think it'll make that big of a difference. My other one's the same way. So yeah. So this should be pretty fast, seeing as Diane's done already. She beat me.
So I had it sitting here, and before I start anything else, I had to finish something.
Yeah. Well, and then we changed last week's class because Diane had an appointment, and I don't think Rhonda can make it. I mean, a bunch of people told me that they were behind and weren't going to be able to make it. That's why we pushed it to this week. So it's all good. All right. So let's get this done. Let me get acquainted and remind me before the end of the class to show how to downgrade accounts, because everybody's going to have to do that this week. Otherwise, it'll just cancel and reimburse or not renew their account, and they'll have to go in and do it the long way again. So, yeah. All right. Okay. Okay, come on. There we go. Oh my gosh, it's a mess here. I've been working since 7. I've been working on stock when I should be working on tutorials, but I wasn't feeling very tutorialish today, so we just decided to do this. Okay, so all we have to do is put all of the pieces together now. So we are going to take our exteriors. So I'm going to take my back exterior and my lining that has the zipper pocket that's closed all the way around, and put them wrong sides together and clip them around, and then we're going to base them. We're going to do the same with the front panels. Do you think this is one you're going to make, Dawn, when you're feeling a little better?
There are so many bags I'm going to make when I'm feeling better.
Awesome. But you got lots
of time.
There's no
I know.
Yeah. Well, you've been sewing your whole new wardrobe too, so.
Yeah.
And that looked lovely at your convention. You look beautiful.
Thank you.
Did you find out if you caught the COVID from there? Do you have COVID?
It was just a flu.
It was just a flu?
Yeah.
I think that's all COVID really is now too, so.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
A few people did catch COVID though, so I think it's bound to happen in a big convention like that because people show up and they don't even realize they're sick yet.
Yeah, it was the same when I went on my cruise too. So yeah, we had COVID just before we went on the cruise, so I didn't get sick again because I had the antibodies, but and I didn't even know I had it when I had it until my eldest son got it, and it had already gone through the house. We just thought we had a cold, so.
Yeah, and that's the thing, right, is that you're contagious before you even show any symptoms.
Exactly, so. Exactly. It's all good. All righty.
There's lots of COVID going around here.
Really?
Oh. Yeah.
Oh, Ontario.
I know.
For those that are watching, Dawn and I are both from British Columbia. Diane is from Ontario.
Pick on me.
Diane's from Ontario.
Pick on me.
All right, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to base those. So we'll go to the machine. Do I have that machine turned on? I hope so. Okay. Oh, no, where did you go? Nope. Bear with me. This sometimes happens for some reason when I have both machines set up. I got to get it to want to recognize. Come on. Why are we not going? There's that one. So weird. Maybe I'll be doing it all at the other machine. I wonder if my OBS is locked up. Am I slow? I'm a little bit slow. What camera is this? Oh dear. Okay. Give me a second. I'm not sure what is going on with my cameras. That camera? It won't switch to it. Why? Bear with me. No camera there. I swear I tested all this before I came on. I don't know why it is. There's my phone. There's that one. It's not recognizing it. Let me try one more thing. Okay, you can see that one. Ooh. Can you guys hear me?
Yep, loud and clear.
Okay. Select microphone, select speaker. I don't know why my video is all being weird. Look at my messy floor though.
I don't see nothing.
I don't see nothing. Okay. I'm going to turn everything off.
I don't mean I don't see nothing. I mean
okay.
I don't see nothing.
Okay. So here it won't let me. Okay, there's that one's working. That one's working, except for now I lost my settings. Okay, let's turn on this machine. Can I get that camera to work? That camera light's on. Ooh, that's dark, but I got the camera. This is good. Okay, let's see. Okay, there we go. So we may go through the similar thing when we switch to the other machine later on. We will see. Alrighty. Okay. And it's not letting me see my own member stream here. 1 second. There we go. Okay. Technical difficulties averted. So just space them together. All right. Okay, let's see if cameras are going to work. Woohoo! There we go. Okay, so that's what we got so far. Bound bags go together so fast. So fast. Faster if I was using waterproof canvas today, but I'm not. That's okay. Okay, so now that we got the main panels done, let's work on our gusset. So we've already done our D-ring connectors here and everything, so we don't need to worry about that. We're going to take our exterior bottom piece, put it right sides together. They should be pretty much the same length. Mine is off by like 1/8 of an inch or so, which is okay. I will just trim that up later on. Not a big deal. Just make sure it's on there nice and centered. Right sides together. I have to double check my seam allowance too because I don't remember. Then we're going to take the lining piece, put it right sides together with the lining side, and add it into those clips. So which page are we on? Okay, so the seam allowance is on page 6 and step 3 of the gusset section. So we're going to kind of do this all at the machine. I'm just going to sit there and do it all. We're going to sew across there with the seam allowance. We're going to bring these wrong sides together like so, and then we're going to top stitch through here, and then we're going to go ahead and we're going to do the same with the other side while we're at the machine. Then it saves us having to jump back and forth. So stitch through all the layers. Flip the 2 bottom panels, wrong sides together, and then we're going to top stitch with the seam going down towards the gusset side. You can see I must have did my zipper a little bit too tight because my gusset is bigger, but that's all right. Binding is really, really, really forgiving when it comes to this stuff. So I'll show you how we fix that when we go back to the table. Okay, so that's one side done. Now what we want to do is bring the exteriors on this opposite side. This way is a little bit more awkward. Still doable. Nice and centered. Oh, we have big thunder happening here. Had a storm all day long. Okay, and I'm going to undo my zipper just so it's easier to bring that lining, because you kind of form this figure 8 type thing when you bring it together, like 2 loop-de-loops. Add it into the clips. Sew through there. And it's a little bit more awkward to top stitch because we're kind of top stitching in a loop here, but it's fine. So you just kind of twist these around, bringing them wrong sides together like this, and then just top stitch through the loop. So you can flip this all the way through if you wanted to, and then turn it inside out. And that'll make it easier. Oops, let go. All right. So this is what we got. It's all top stitched, and you can see how it's just a little bit too big there. All I'm going to do is kind of go in at an angle so that top part is very, very slightly. You can do that pretty much with any bound bag. That it's usually, I probably went in too tight with my seam allowance on my zipper, which just made it about 1/8 of an inch off on each side. This one's a little more off, but I just kind of ease it. Just so it evens up on this side. Okay, now what we want to do is we want to clip these all together so where you can baste it all in one big loop. And it should fit in there nicely, hopefully. I guess it better not be too big. That would make me very sad.
Why does that sometimes happen?
I think it happens to me mainly when I use a cotton lining because the cotton shrinks. So it makes it just that little bit. So I just try to kind of try to ease it in the best I can. But yeah, that's usually why that happens. My last one that I made with this was I used waterproof canvas and didn't have any issues. But you can still ease it in. Like, it just barely, like, see, just a little bit of a loopy-loop. Hopefully we can kind of ease it around and kind of stretch it out a little bit. But yeah, that's why that happens, is I'm pretty sure it just shrinks up. It's really annoying though. It does. I haven't had it happen in a very long time. I can tell you that. Yeah, the only way is if it was cut wrong or if that cotton shrunk, but we're going to make it work. Oh yeah, it's going to work out fine. See? But the lining is super tight because because it's the part that's smaller. So I guess a good way to avoid that when using a cotton lining, if it's going to shrink, just because when you are binding a bag, sometimes that happens and it kind of messes it up a little bit. Like I may have the odd little pleat on the very bottom. I'm not going to worry about it though. The other side. Just make sure you're distributing it evenly so it looks like it was done on purpose. Is to maybe interface the cotton first and then cut the piece out. But I can tell you, I never remember to do that myself. So I just kind of try to stretch it around best I can. There we go. It actually is fitting, so this is good. But I can feel my lining is super tight. Did it happen on yours too, Diane? Your other one, or did you use canvas?
No, I used canvas.
And there was no issues.
Sometimes that happens, and I think, okay, did I cut it wrong, or?
It could very well be that too. Yeah.
Oh, come on now.
I may cut mine wrong too, because my lining is definitely a little bit smaller, but I'm making it work.
Maybe it's the ruler.
Maybe, because you can see here, see how it's kind of going like this. But once everything is in there, like I have it so there's going to be no pleats here. But once we have the contents in the bag, it's going to, it'll tighten it up. So, okay. So let's go ahead and baste those together. I said, I haven't had it happen in a very long time. I'm like, it's just my luck it would happen during a class. That's okay. Then I can show how to fix it, even though I'm only sort of fixing it. See, if there's going to be a little pucker, always make sure it's at the very bottom of the bag because nobody sees the bottom, right? Okay. One side down. Another reason could be as well as I am using a really thick vinyl and using a pearl vinyl. So when it folds over, oh no, maybe that doesn't make sense. I said sometimes that fold is bigger, but it's my exterior that's bigger than my lining. So I would say my lining probably shrunk, or I was off by like 1/4 of an inch when I cut it out. So I guess a good practice would be before sewing on your gussets is to make sure the exterior and the lining are the same size before sewing them on, because then you can trim it up or what have you. But mine isn't off by too much. It's fine. It's fine. Okay. Okay, so now I want to find my top and bottom centers. So I'm going to line up where my seams are. I'm going to pull this nice and tight. Do a center snip on that raw edge. And same with on the bottom. Pull it nice and tight. Can't remember if this one had quarter sections or not. She doesn't know. No, she just has top and bottom centers. I like it when there's quarter sections myself. But... Okay. So we should have, there's a big loop-de-loop. I'm going to grab my front. Now this is where you got to make sure the front zipper panel is the shorter one and the back is the wider one. So I'm going to do my front one first, just so I know I don't mix that up. So I have my front panel right side up. I'm going to take my now gusset panel wrong side up, because we're going to put these right sides together, making sure that I am attaching the shorter side of the gusset. So I'm going to match up that center mark first. And I'm going to use a gazillion clips just because that's me and I don't want it to slip. Some people like to use staples when it comes to the corners. I'm not a staple girl. I'm always scared I won't get them all out. Then I'm going to go ahead and match up the bottom center. So I had my top and bottom centers. We already had them marked on our main panels. Those are the marks we're going with. Okay. I can't remember if this lined up with anything. No, I don't think it did. So I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to just clip all of the straight sections first. And then we'll come back and do the corner sections. So we'll go clip all the way across until we hit the curves. Same with along the top. And we'll move to the side. You can kind of see how it's going to fall in there. And clip, evenly distributing that around. And I'm not doing the corners just yet. I'm just doing the straight sides, almost like I'm making my quarter sections. Make sure they line up about the same. Yep. It's going to be a fun one to turn because I've used glitter vinyl. I'm going to be cursing myself. Might have to bring Riley in here to turn it for me later. Okay, and then to ease around the corners, because it looks like it's not going to fit, we're going to do little scant 1/4 of an inch, between 1/8 of an inch and 1/4 of an inch snips into the gusset, not the main panel, so we can turn a rectangular type shape curvy. So that'll spread the fabric out like so and around the corner. I'll do that for the other corners too. Again, it doesn't want to go all the way around. Do little snips. Ease it around the corner. One more. Okay. Just kind of take a peek in here, make sure it looks nice and even. You want to make sure from this pocket that your gussets are even pretty much. readjust if they're not, if one is way off from the other. Mine look like they're about right. Now we're going to sew around there with the seam allowance. Well, she bastes it in, she goes ahead and she bastes it in the pattern. I like to go in with the full seam allowance because I actually use that seam allowance for placing my binding. So we're going to go around with the seam allowance that she uses for the binding in step 3 of finishing and binding. So we're going to go ahead and stitch that around, come back to the table, and then we will do the same with the back side. Ooh, pretty, Dawn. Oh, that's your shirt. I thought you were showing me fabric.
Sorry, I moved my laptop.
That's okay. I thought you were holding up fabric to show me because all I could see was your shirt. Then you backed off and it was your shirt. All right, so I am gonna I have my stiletto here to help get around those curves. I like to start at the very, very bottom. I said in the pattern she bastes it. I'm going in with my stitch length and everything, like I'm sewing it all together with the full seam allowance. And that is a preference I like to do just because I will use that as a guide for my binding later on as well. So the hardest part is these corners. You want to make sure you're trying not to get any puckers as you go around. You will probably have to adjust or use a stiletto and make sure your needle is down before you do too many adjustments. Coco says hi. So we did get good news about Coco. We took her for her annual checkup, and she's in her 13th year. She'll be 13 on February 5th or something like that. And her breed usually only lives to be about 11. And the vet says besides her going blind, because she sees shadows, but you can see that she has cataracts or the fogginess in her eyes, and that one hip gives out, he figures she's got another 2 or 3 years in her. So that's pretty good for her breed, and she's a large dog, so we're happy. So feel free, if it is easier to base this for you, you can definitely do it that way as well. This is easiest for me when it comes to binding. But you really just do whatever works for you. Coco agrees. And I did this front panel on purpose because it's so narrow. I find it's a little bit harder. I might have a little bit of a pucker there, but that's okay. And of course, if you're using a stiffer vinyl like me, the corners are a little more challenging, but I promise they're not too bad. Because I am using upholstery grade vinyls, sometimes they fight you just that little bit more, but it's so worth it. I've been making a ton of bags in pearls and vinyls right now. Pearls and glitters. Okay. It also helps if you already didn't have a matching thread to try to be using a thread that matches your lining and your binding. That way, if you do get a little bit sloppy, it's not as noticeable. I just realized I'm wearing super crazy pants right now. That's okay. Okay, so I'm just going to kind of run my finger along here, make sure everything looks good. I got a little bit
I'm
of a...
already in my pajamas, so don't look at me.
Are you? So I don't know if you guys can see this. In my corners, I do have a couple puckers, and that is because my exterior gusset was too big. But the way that I kind of distributed it around there, it is evenly puckered in the corners. Can you see right there? Whoops, right there. You can see it there. It's exactly the same on this side too. So it looks like I did it on purpose. So it's supposed to be that way as far as anybody's concerned. Okay, so once that looks good and everything is caught, we're going to do the same with the opposite side. So same process, match up those top and bottom centers. Bag is a lot smaller than I thought it was going to be. It's super cute, but I didn't expect it to be this small for some reason. Okay, so I'll do the top and bottom straight edges first. Now the real test will be if I can turn this out without help. We'll get the binding done and everything, but if I have to wait for Riley to turn it out, we may not get to turn it out on camera. We'll see. I've been having a hard time with turning out bags with my wrists lately. They're not doing too bad today, though. I may be okay. We will see. Running out of clips here. Oh, I didn't even realize Dexter's in here with me. Hey, Dex. That means when the boys is home. Oh, one sec. Let me put Dexter out. Come on. Okay, yes, I hear you. Out you go. Go on. Sorry about that, you guys. Brady just got home, so. There's no sneaking into our house, that's for sure. Okay, so again, I'm going to clip into those corners to help ease it around the corners.
We're doing the crossbody strap on this one, Brandy?
Yeah, it's just a crossbody strap, but mine isn't done. See, it's right here.
Oh, okay.
But it clicks into the D-ring, so I'll have to do that a different day. I just didn't do it. Okay, so you can see on this side, I don't know what was cut wrong, but I am out. Like I can't get it to ease all the way around. But all I'm going to do is I'm going to trim off that little 1/8 of an inch that it won't ease around. And then it's perfect. That little 1/8 of an inch is not going to make a difference.
It's on the inside, nobody will see it.
That's right. It's going to be covered up by binding too, so the bag will still have the right shape. I think when Siah made this one as well, she had the same thing, and when she was doing it, and she just had to trim it off. That's a common practice in some binding things too, is just sometimes it could be that your cut was a little bit different, like it wasn't quite the right shape, or I don't know. As long as you're still following that shape. See, it's the same on this side too. So obviously that's a bottom panel thing or a back panel thing. but I'm barely taking anything off. Like, that's it. Very, very little. Just to ease it around that curve. A little bit more here too. There we go. One more corner. That one went around really good. If you have to take out a few clips just to kind of distribute that fabric a little bit better, you can too, like I just did. One more corner. Okay, so let's go sew on that side. Oops. Now this is just a little bit more awkward just because you're working with a little more bulk, because you already got one side on. Always reach inside the bag as well. That helps sometimes. And I can see my corner slipped a little bit. I'm not going to worry about that too much. It's the bottom corner, and I will just trim that up nice and even after. So this side on the corner, like it bites you a little bit just because you also already have that handle attached. So it's a little more fabric to move out of the way, but you got to make sure that your handle is not getting stuck in there either, because you don't want to accidentally sew through that handle. Whew, it's making me work. I'm sweating. My corner slipped again. It's okay. Come on. I'm just maneuvering it around that corner, pushing down my thick vinyl out of the way. Push out that pleat. There we go. Okay. Whew. That made me work. I think I got a pucker right in the very middle. Yeah, it's not too bad. It's okay. Okay. So you can see I slipped in the corners a little bit, but I slipped pretty even in all the corners, which is good. Again, it's all about consistency. If you're going to do it, make it consistent. So I'm just going to trim them all up to be the same because we want it to be very even for our binding. And if you're using cotton, this is just because my cotton edges are starting to fray a bit. This is going to just take care of some of those flyaway pieces. So just trim it up just ever so slightly so all the panels are even. Like here, that was a big slip. But that's okay. Double check the other side. There's a little slip there. I'll just trim it off. A little bit here. Then we're going to do bias binding, which I haven't done in a while. I did not have any canvas that matched this, so I'll use bias tape binding. All right, so again, you can bind it any way you like. I'm going to use bias tape. Oh, look, I got my WestJet thing on my binding. I don't know why. WestJet. Weird. Okay. So I've got tons of bias tape binding because this used to be my preferred method, but now I seem to do canvas more. But something about the bias tape when it I mean, look how perfect that matches that. It's so nice. A little extra work, a little more steps, but that's okay. And I am also going to do it on my cylinder arm just because I find it easier to do on my cylinder arm. Okay, so I'm going to open up my tape all the way. I use the double fold, can you see that? Extra wide bias tape. I open it right up and I'm going to put it along this edge first. So I'm going to fold in this edge like so, so that raw edge is enclosed like that. And I'm going to go just past my center with my gusset side facing up at me. And I do this side first because I like to fold my bias tape over to this side because normally if you're going to be off a little bit, you're not going to notice it on this gusset side, but you're going to see your stitching on this side. So this just, I don't know, I just find it's a lot easier. So I'm going to go ahead and go like this. And I'm sure you could also just fold it over like this, just like we would with waterproof canvas as well. I'm not very good at that. I find it slips all over, so I do it in like 2 steps. So I'm going to clip that raw edge all the way around. I'd like to try fold over elastic one day. It's just a matter of finding 1 inch fold over elastic. It's easy to find 3/4 inch, but that's not quite big enough. I know Fabricland has it, but it's like $6 a meter. It's like so expensive for fold over elastic in the 1-inch form. But I think that would probably be the easiest way to bind, is with fold over elastic. I've never done it before though, so I'm just assuming because it's stretchy. I know Sew Yours sells 1-inch fold over elastic, but shipping to Canada is just crazy expensive right now. So, okay, so bring it all the way around. Okay, so now when we get to the end where they're meeting up, we want to go about 1 inch or so past where we started and cut your bias tape. And then what we're going to do, so we got this end folded in when we started, and it's all open. You want to open it right up like so. We're going to bring this one in, and we're going to overlap it onto the inside. We do not need to worry about folding in this one because it's going to be enclosed in this outer one here. So just kind of add it in so they crisscross like so. And we're just going to be very aware that we're only sewing along this seam. So I'm going to take it to the cylinder arm, and I actually use my creases. I'll go just beside this crease here for my first fold over, and that's about 3/8 or so in there. So let me see if I can switch over to the other machine. This may be interesting. We'll see if it registers it, because I like to do this on my cylinder arm. all off, but they're on. Weird. Oh, maybe. What camera is that? No. I got that machine back. That's not
There you go.
That's not the one I want though.
Yeah.
I want the other one. So let's try this again. I don't know what is going on. My Zoom had an update today. I'm wondering if it did something.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, now I've lost my camera. Okay, no, I think I got it. I think it's working now. Let me see. Yay! I don't know why.
There you go.
Oh my gosh. And I'm using this mic, so that's good. Everything is good. Ignore my messy floor. Okay, so let's go and bind this.
Is it still storming in Kamloops?
Do you know what? There's a huge storm. It's windy. Maybe it has something to do with that.
Yeah.
It's probably because everything that I have that's wireless is going crazy right now. So I have a feeling you're right. Okay. Let's do this. So I'm not going to be able to see. Well, maybe I can turn my iPad so I can see the shot a little bit. You guys can see everything that I'm at this machine. Okay. See my crazy pants?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like them.
You like them?
Yeah.
Okay. So one thing when I do my binding, so I went in with my stitching length when I did my seams. I'm going to go up, like I did mine at a 4.5 on my industrial. I'm actually going to put mine up to a 5.5 now to sew this on, mainly because I don't want to perforate my vinyl. I want to, like, you know, if you go too small stitches, one after the other, it can tear your vinyl apart. So I find this helps strengthen it more than perforate it. So let's do this. So again, do your binding however you like to do your binding. This is just how I like to do mine sometimes. And my seam allowance is just slightly smaller than the seam allowance we went in at. So I can't say what the seam allowance is, but about 1/8 of an inch in, because I'm just following that crease in my bias binding as my guide, which is just slightly less, not much, just slightly. That way I won't be forming any more puckers or anything because I've already sewn this at the full seam allowance. I'm almost sewing it on within the seam allowance. So I'm not creating any new seams or any new puckers or anything. Anything that I did sewing it in is permanent. And I'm not creating anything new. Ooh, lights are flickering. Did you guys see that? No. Okay. We're almost done though. Storm can hold off. Oops, I'm losing clips. So you can see my thread matches my binding perfect. And that's so if I am not super straight, it's camouflaged. You can't see it. It's going to be hidden in that seam anyways. But if you use a contrast, especially when you go to top stitch the other side down, then you definitely see it if you go off kilter or have to go in and correct anything. Not as camouflaged at all. first half of the binding done. Oh, that first edge. Okay, switch this back. Oh, and now I don't have my desk camera. What the heck? One sec. I've lost my desk view camera now. I don't know what's going on. Okay, the lights are on it. It's blinking. There it is. Okay, we're back. I don't know. Must be the weather. Oops, and now it's going to do that funky blurry thing. 1 second. Technical difficulties galore. Holy moly. There we go. Okay. So now that's what we have all the way around. Now we want to bring the binding over. So most important part is this part here where we have it crossing over. That first section that we started, we're opening that right up with the one side folded in. And you are just going to kind of nest this other one inside it. And I have the one edge folded under, and I'm going to fold it over, just following the creases that are already in the binding in half, and then around again, like so. And clip in place. And this is why I like to do it from this side, the final stitch, because where we had our stitching line here, I can line the binding up right along that line so you can't see the stitch marks on the main part. This side here, I can see my stitches a little bit, but I'm okay with that because nobody sees it on this inside part, but you do see it on the main panels when you're looking into the bag. So fold it up and under, making sure the raw edge is under, and clip in place. Clip in place. Now this is, I'm going to be sewing this is why I like it on my cylinder arm, because I'm going to be top stitching along here. If you have a free arm, that's really easy. Otherwise, you have to kind of take it like this and go around on a flatbed. A little more awkward. Okay, and then we are going to go and top stitch right along this folded edge of our binding right in here with 1/8 of an inch all the way around. And that'll finish the one side binding. We'll come back and do the other. Then we turn it out and we're all done. Okay, let's see if the camera's going to work for us. Are we going to work? Are we going to work? Yes. Okay, so I'm actually going to change this now to a top stitch length. So again, I don't want to be perforating my vinyl at all. So top stitch length to almost like top stitching this in place. So I'm going to put it down like so and go 1/8 of an inch away from that folded edge all the way around. And this is, I swear, this is why I got this cylinder arm machine, was just to be able to do this so nice and easy. I do have in my Bagmakers Basics playlist how I do bias tape on my flatbed as well as my cylinder arm. I have 2 classes or tutorials on that, showing different ways of doing it, depending on the machine you're on. But if you're on a free arm, you can do it just like this, if you don't have a cylinder arm. Diane, when you do your binding, do you do it on your cylinder arm or do you do it on your flatbed? Because you are like me, you have 2.
I just do it on my flatbed.
Do you?
Yeah.
When I do waterproof canvas, I just do it on my flatbed.
Yeah.
But the bias tape, it's just so much easier on here. Mainly because you don't have to struggle with putting it through the machine at all. And bending in place or anything, you can kind of just let it have its own shape and just go all the way around. It's nice. Okay. One side done. Make sure it was caught everywhere. It was, and it looks pretty. All right. She looks good. You can't see my stitching this side. You can see, well, you know what? It covered most of it. There's just like the odd place. And I don't think anybody really sees that but me. So, okay. And repeat with the opposite side. Let go. Again, make sure you fold in that raw edge of your binding. Put it up. Big thunder. So many storms this past week. But with all of the rain, our forest fires are getting under control. So this is good. As long as the lightning doesn't spark them up again. Yeah. Yep, they are. I still don't believe that it took out Jasper.
Yeah, that blows my mind.
Yeah. So Dawn, you're going to drive here and turn my bag out for me, right? And be there in 5 minutes. I wish. If you lived with your son, you'd be here in 5 minutes because he's practically my neighbor.
I don't think they would like that very much. So.
What, if you lived with them?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so I've come to the part where it crosses over. I'm going to trim my bias tape. Okay, I'm going to go and sew this side on. All right. Oops, wrong button. Okay, so I'm going to put my stitch length back down. Okay, come on, get under there. The side feels a little bit weird because it's the front side of the bag. It's the narrow side. Coming to the end. So now just at the machine here, I'm going to not go back to the table. I'm just going to go ahead and fold my binding over and top stitch it, which is how I would usually do it if I wasn't showing, but it's the exact same thing we just did. Open it up, fold it over, fold it over. Save myself having to switch cameras again in case it decides not to agree with me. So waterproof canvas is definitely faster than vise tape. Definitely faster. Okay. Let's do this. So I'm putting my stitch length up to a top stitching length. Yay, done. Easy peasy. All right. Now, the moment of truth. Can I turn this out? Now it's time to turn it out. Oh, yeah. It's actually an easy one to turn out. A little harder with glitter vinyl, but not too bad. It's because it's got that nice wide mouth. It's the glitter vinyl that makes it stick. See how badly I puckered on the bottom, but I don't think it's going to be too bad. A little bit there. But it's actually not bad at all. Back a little bit more, but look how even. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And that's because my gusset was too big on the exterior, or the lining was too small, one of the two. We just made it work. One thing I like about binding is you just push it right into those corners and it just shapes that bag so good. Yeah, just a few puckers, but nothing terrible. And then if my crossbody strap was done, we just hook onto these D-rings. And that's it. Just got to kind of press those seams into place. Yay. It's little. Not too bad?
She's pretty.
She's pretty, yeah. Again, it's not perfect. I got a couple little puckers, but I think I distributed them good enough that it's good. She's sellable, so she looks good.
Very, very pretty.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty.
So she goes with my blue one really good. So these will be on my market table. This one and my blue glitter one. Let me grab the blue one too.
See, I'm sending you a ta-da.
A ta-da?
Yeah.
You sent me a ta-da?
There you go.
What did I miss? I wasn't here.
In my picture, there's a ta-da for you.
Oh.
Ta-da.
I'll send it again.
Okay.
There you go.
Oh, I see it. Haha. Yay. See, you know how to use Zoom. I don't.
Oh, those are pretty.
This one I had no puckers. This one was perfect.
Mm-hmm.
But this still looks good.
Oh, yeah, they're beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty.
Now, this one I use seatbelt webbing. I'm not a seatbelt webbing person at all. I ended up putting like these little, I know.
That's what I used on mine.
Yeah. But the seatbelt webbing, I had just a little bit left and it was the exact same color as this, so I had to do it. Where this one, I will be doing my double-sided strap when I'll finish this a different day. So it'll be glitter on the main and then the pearl on the opposite side. Yeah. But we'll finish that later. Yeah. So yeah, it really doesn't take very long to do. I mean, that was not even 3 full classes.
Yeah.
Fast to cut out, fast to interface. Super cute. Hopefully they sell well. Guess we'll find out. They're super small. So, yay. So yeah, Frank.
I sold my other one.
Did you sell it? Good
Yeah.
for you. Good for you. Diane has been selling her bags. I'm so proud of her. She's even gotten.
Well, I put them in where I work, and people come in and.
Yes.
Okay.
Diane's working at a hair salon. So working in the beauty industry definitely is a great place to sell your bags if you can get them in there.
I don't like doing that, but she told me to bring them, so I said okay.
There you go.
when I first started selling bags, I was actually putting them in at a massage place here, like a massage spa. It's closed down now. And I sold a ton from there, but I ended up pulling them out mainly because people were coming out of the massages with oily hands and then touching the vinyl. And sometimes it's hard to get that oil off, right?
Mhm.
So I'm just like, they can't be. And it was like the suede type, like I was with Mora's and stuff. It was before I met Anna, so I didn't have her vinyls yet. But Emmeline vinyls, like the Mora vinyls, I was making lots of bags in that, like the Moonwakes and everything. And people were touching them, and then I couldn't get the fingerprints off. So she was really upset that I took the bags out, but at the same time, they were getting wrecked. So, but I sold so many and got so many custom orders, and that's actually a lot of my base custom order people came from that hair salon, and they're the ones that order from me constantly now. So it definitely paid off. So that was good. So yeah, but I like the green one because it's my favorite color.
The green's pretty. Yeah, you like green.
I love green. Okay, so I guess now, before I forget, and I know that Diane and Don already know how to do this.
No, I don't.
Oh, how to downgrade?
Mm-mm.
Okay, so I'm going to share my screen here. Just my screen's going to look really weird. Okay, come on. Go out of here. Go over here. Okay. So it's only me on the screen now. Can you guys still hear me? Oh, can you see my screen? Or do you just see me?
I just see you.
Darn it. Okay. Let me figure out how to share my screen. So YouTube side can see my screen, but you guys cannot. Can I share my screen somehow on here?
Yeah, if you go down to the bottom of your screen on Zoom,
okay,
it should say share screen right there. It's like mine is in green with a green
right
arrow.
here. Okay. Oh, which desktop do I want to share? This one? Okay, I'm learning new things. Uh-oh, Zoom. Bear with me. I didn't have it set up because I didn't know how to do this. Okay, no, it won't let me do it because it's running right now. So, YouTube side will show it.
Yeah, I can see it on YouTube.
Okay, can you see it on YouTube there, Diane? Okay, so it's showing it on YouTube. I can see that right now. So when you're on YouTube and you go to my page, you guys can hear me okay still?
Yep.
Okay. You're going to go where it says down here, our members, right here. Can you guys see that? And then you're going to hit join. Then this is going to pop up, which is the membership tier. Whoops, come back here. Join. And you click on each of the tiers that you want. So right now, this is the tier 5 and tier 6 is what the Tuesdays are. These are going to go bye-bye as of the 1st. If your account renews, YouTube will reimburse you for that if you haven't downgraded, okay? But you will have to come back in and go to the next tier. So these are the 2 tiers you're going to be downgrading to. The VIP of the month, that's if you still want to have a ticket in for that $25 gift card. For the Tuesday people, you had an automatic entry into that, regardless if you signed up for VIP of the month 2, like the tier 6. So if you were signed up for tier 6, you got 1 entry, and then you got an extra entry. So now the Thursday class or the Wednesday classes, as they will be, tier 3 does not include any entries into it. So if you still want to be part of the VIP of the month draw, you'll want to choose tier number 4, which is $24.99 a month. You click on it, and then I believe right here it'll say downgrade where it says join, or if you hit join, something like that. I'm not too sure what the screen does, but that is how you downgrade. So you're either going to downgrade to this one where you'll get the Wednesday classes, as well as an entry in for that monthly draw. Or if you don't want to be part of the monthly draw, you would choose tier number 3 and do the same thing. So I don't want to hit join because I don't want to pay myself. So there'll be somewhere on the screen, it'll either say cancel or it'll say downgrade or something like that. Okay? Does that make sense?
I think so.
Yeah.
I've got, I'm on perks.
Okay.
And I want to go down to the bottom where it has the three dots and more and cancel membership and perks.
It says cancel membership.
Yeah.
So there's no way it says, maybe you have to cancel and then downgrade, depending. Are you on an Apple or are you on a PC?
On an iPad right now.
On an iPad. So it may look different if you actually go through a web browser as well. If you're on the app, it might be a little bit weird.
Okay.
But anyways, it's somewhere in there. I've already seen a couple of people have downgraded, so I know it's possible, and so it's got to be easy to do. So, but if for some reason your account has already renewed for another 30 days, that's okay, because as soon as I cancel the membership for those top 2 tiers, YouTube will reimburse your payment. I don't get that money right away. I only get paid from YouTube on the 21st of every month. So yeah, they will reimburse that if you've missed that cutoff. Now, if you were to cancel, I know some people have wanted to downgrade have had to cancel and then go into whatever tier they want and rejoin that way. You will not lose your membership status. You will still have the timeline. You still pick up where you left off. So your colored little thingy will be fine and all that stuff. So yeah. Even if you're to take 2 months off or something like that, you don't lose that membership status. It just picks up from where you were before. So yeah. So anybody that's watching this after the fact, or Diane or Don, if you have problems, we could try to work through it together. But I know Cynthia has already done it and she didn't have any problems with it. So
okay, perfect.
Okay, so yeah, just make sure you do that before September 1st. You could do that now if you wanted to. You won't be able, if you do that now and downgrade, you won't be able to see the replay of this class. But all of the Tuesday replays, it's just going to be a bonus now, is I'm going to move them to the Thursday tiers. So all the Thursday people are going to get to see all the Tuesday classes early, where usually they have to wait 6 months. They're going to get them earlier, because that's the only way all the Tuesday people will be able to see them again too. And I don't want that content just sitting whatever, right? So, but usually the Thursday people get the Tuesday content after 6 months has passed. Now they're going to just have a bonus, so everybody has access to it. All right.
That's good.
Any questions, comments, concerns? And then everything else stays the same. We're just getting rid of those top 2 tiers. So just decide if you want to still be part of the VIP month club. And again, the draw is going to be much smaller now, depending on if the Tuesday people sign on for that, because the Tuesday people already had an automatic entry. So if they sign into the VIP of the month one, they'll still be entered in, but their names won't be in there twice, right? But if it's just the Wednesday one, no entry. Yay. So hopefully. I like giving away the $25, so. It actually, the extra $5 it is for that membership is what pays for that ticket. So it's really good. Now, if only 1 or 2 people are signed on for that, then we'll have to decide if we're keeping it or if we're going to just get rid of that tier as well. We'll see. Because if there's only 1 person signed into it, or 2 people signed in for that, because right now I know the Thursday group, I think there's only 2 people that are signed on for that. So if it is only 2 people, then I will probably have to, because it'll just be a draw between them every single month. That's not, yeah. Exactly. So the point of it is to help get gift certificates for people to try other suppliers or support Canadian companies or support companies in your area, just to try things that you never tried before, right? So yeah. All right. Look, what time is it? 4:41. We're pretty good. Any other questions? Anything? Diane, make sure you put your bag on the webpage. They're cute. I hope these sell well. I do.
I hope so too.
Yeah. I think that they might, because they are super cute. And all of my glitter bags, like I had, what was it, 5 Mabel glitters last year for market, and they all sold at the first market. So the small glitter bags went right away, which surprised me because I like glitter, but it doesn't necessarily mean everybody likes glitter. And it wasn't young people. It was, okay, so my first fair was at a senior's home. It wasn't a long-term care home. It was just like an assisted living type, independent living situation. And they sold to those people, those glitter bags. Yeah. It's like I did them in like 5 different color glitters and they all sold, which was amazing at that fair. So I'm not doing that fair this year though, so we'll see. Okay. Well, awesome. Thank you for swinging along with me, Diane. Rhonda was too, but Rhonda is busy, so she couldn't make it today. And Frankie's doing it as well, I believe. So hopefully they'll get them on. And yeah. Yay. All right. So yeah, Thursday class is the last Twilight class. And then next week, we start Deuce Coupe class on the Wednesday. You two already know how to do that though, because you were testers.
I have one all cut out. I just hope I'm able to start next week.
Awesome.
Is it next week already? Yeah.
Yeah, we're going to do it next week. So there are 5 Wednesdays in September. Usually I would skip the first month, but because we've already we're just going to hop right into it. And then if we get it all, we'll get it all done in 4 classes, and then we'll have the last week of September off. So that works good, which works good for me because I'm headed out of town the last week of September. So it works good. I'm going to Medicine Hat. I'm going to meet Danelda, one of our members. Going to see my chosen in-laws. They're Dave's best friend's parents, but they're like his parents. They're amazing people. So we go see them once a year, and so we're going to go and do that. And then Danelda lives there, so we're going to meet for coffee as well. So I'll get to meet her as well. So anybody else that's a member, if you're in Medicine Hat, September 27th to whatever the Monday is, I'll be there. So yay.
Sounds good.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm going to go and make supper. Thank you so much.
Easy, guys.
See you guys later. Bye.
Bye.
Oh, where's my mouse? I lost my mouse.